Hi. Welcome back to the crossroads. Thanks for taking the walk and meeting me halfway. Today, it's going to be a short one, hopefully. Um, so I went for my walk today, and I like hitting up those little like private libraries that people have set up, like in front of their home, where you can like open it and take a book, put a book in, whatever. And I found one today that's sitting still like a frog. I know it's backwards, but just wanted you to see it. It's mindfulness exercises for kids. The book is for the parents, for the kid, like so they can practice with their children or whatever. And obviously, it's not for the kids like to actually read. Like I said, it's for the parents to kind of study and then um, try it out with the little ones. But in reading this, I specifically because I hit the page um, in the beginning. I think it's parenting with greater mindfulness. And for like half a second, I was like, well, I'm not a parent, but I am, I guess, currently, like learning how to mother my inner child. So, and I've always been studying like parenting stuff anyway. I've always felt drawn to like those kinds of books just to see, like what's the tea? What are the parents? What are they up to? What are they trying to do right now, modern age? And I realized, yeah, you don't need to have a child or a kid or to be, expecting. What I'm expecting is my little one inside to transform, I guess, from a more fearful, reactive space into a child that now feels safe inside of this adult body. And I had this idea. I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and whichever parenting book like calls out to me, I'm gonna just I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna buy it, or I'm gonna maybe check it out like from the library or whatever. And because a lot of the language that they're using here, like yeah, it is for the parents to read, but it is very gentle, very simplified, really soft, compassionate, slow, um, short, words, easy sentences that they fall easy in the brain and they come off the tongue. I don't know. It's the whole thing feels meditative and parenting with greater mindfulness. I was like, yeah, you know what? I love children's books anyway. I tend to collect them. Um, I always think that it's healthy to just it is a preference of mine, but I do think that it's healthy to like read children's books, especially before bed, because a lot of us have insomnia because we don't feel safe at nighttime. There's a million things happening inside of us, and because a lot of us don't. I wrote this little poem once, and it was like literally a one liner, and it said something along the lines of, um, "I haven't had a proper bedtime in ages," like a bunch of exclamation points, and I signed it like the ending was like every organ in me screaming or something like that inside of me. So like every bit of me was like, I need a proper bedtime, and not just like the hour, but like a ritual, like a nighttime ritual, instead of filling myself with screens and trying to psychoanalyze my life and ruminating and pacing and all that stuff. I was like, I'm gonna read myself bedtime stories. I always loved bedtime stories. Like that was one of my favorite parts of going to sleep as a kid. And I'd be like, again, I was one of the again kids. Again, again. So now I can again, at least 2 to 3 times until I, get sleepy enough. And again, I feel like it's really good to fill the brain and the heart and the spirit and the body with good symbols. And sometimes I'll even do this like with my oracle decks. I'll pull out like the softest one, like maybe an animal one or like one with, like birds on it or just pretty imagery, like the starseed one. And I'll look at something and I'm like, I intentionally go, I'm gonna fill myself with good imagery, with good, I'm gonna consume good things like before bedtime, like on purpose. Even like during my walks, sometimes I'll see like a really pretty plant and I'll take pictures and stuff of like trees or whatever, but I'll see something that I really like and I'll internally tell myself, I'm gonna see that in my dreams tonight. I'm going to see that color and I'm gonna see that specific plant when I go to sleep or as I start to dream. And sometimes I do, and it's really nice. But I figured, hey, I'm gonna get more books like this. Um, mindfulness exercises for kids, simple mindfulness practices to help your child, and I guess in my case to help your inner child with anxiety, improve concentration, and handle difficult emotions. Because sometimes it's weird reading it as an adult, like in an adult book. It feels a little too rigid and like intellectual and like gonna use big words. And it's not like I don't understand the big words, but something about this tone hits different, like for my inner kid. It's like I'm reading it with her, like next to her. And so that, I don't know, I just felt like putting that out there. Um, yeah, do what you will with that information. Um, Thanks for stopping by. And if you're rocking with what I'm saying and you want to take a walk a little farther down the crossroads and meet me up here, I'm going to put all the yummy links in the description box. I got my Substack where I talk about neuroscience, neurobiology, love, poetry, sex, um, even like a few short stories in there, somatic healing, trauma coded stuff, um, essays, all that. And I also offer free dream readings on my Instagram and my Twitter, so I'm going to put those links as well. And if you feel like leaving any offerings at the crossroad, if you feel called to, I'm going to put that link too way at the bottom, but that's only if it comes from you, from in here. That's just so. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Stay blessed. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Stay tuned in. Stay weird. Let's say you're kind of weird. Not that kind of weird out there because it's freaky out there. So it's not your kind of freaky. And I will see you soon until we meet again at the crossroads. Bye.